Welcome back, everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. Today we're back with another Starcraft 2 1 vs 1 replay cast. Today we've got quite a matchup here between two players. It should definitely be a good one. We have ourselves a Protoss versus Zerg on the map Frozen Temple, and as you can see, the two players saying GLHF in chat. Without further ado, spawning up in the top left-hand side of the map, playing for Team Liquid, one of the most sort of prestigious foreign Zergs out there. It is Snute in the red. Liquid Snute, one of the, if not, one of the most successful foreign Zergs of all time, and he's just been out on an absolute tear lately. Ever since Legacy of the Void came out, he's sort of plowed through and done very well for himself, even before that as well. So, now his opponent. I believe this game was played out on the North American server, so puCK representing NA, playing sort of on his home turf here. The Protoss player in the blue. So, Snute, as far as I'm aware, has been playing on the North American ladder at nighttime as... Well, at Snute's nighttime. Snute is European, so nighttime for him is time zones and stuff, you know. Anyway, so whenever he wants sort of some different practice, I guess, or simply can't queue up on EU, he queues up on NA, which I think is pretty neat, seeing some matchups like this, which aren't exactly common. And puCK should definitely be able to give Snute a run for his money. Anyway, so standard openings from these players. Snute going for that fast CC. puCK going for a little bit of harassment there with his probe, trying to deny Snute's mining. A player, if done correctly, can sort of just bother their opponent and maybe try to get them on tilt a little bit. Anything like that. puCK, though, going for a gateway expand here. Very easy to do on the map Frozen Temple. Even though the players are close on distance, it's sort of made up by the little wall and simply can be walled off with a gateway and a cybernetics core, and then have a hole in the wall and then just place a probe or an adept or whatever you want to sort of stop ling run bys, which is very important on a close map like this. So anyway, we have Snute mined gas, stop mining gas. Now he's starting speed, so Snute looks like he's playing the more European style. I've cast a few matches with Zergs lately, and we saw this is a bit of a style difference. Some Zergs go for continuously mine the gases. They want the options for aggression. Guys like Snute, on the other hand, want that sort of income boost just from pulling those 3 drones out and transferring them right away. Snute likely going to go for a third base, as he's not going for any aggression here. He's moving out his drone. There we go. So Snute wanting to play at macro here, and attacks can be very strong on this map, so we'll see whether this third base will pay off for him. puCK opening right up right now with the Twilight Council. So he could very easily go for a DT cheese here. puCK, though, likes to go for Blink Stalkers, but it's not beyond him to go for adepts or anything like that. It's also going to be interesting to see if Snute sort of knows how to deal with and expects puCK's style. puCK sort of marches to the beat of his own drum. I say that every cast with puCK. Oh, going for a few more gateways here. Sort of standard Protoss safe opening with the Twilight Council here. Link speed on the way for Snute. Just wants that sort of control and defense as he gets up his third base. Resonating Glaives is the choice for puCK, though, so possibly going to go for maybe... I have seen puCK do a few builds like this in the past. Well, lately, actually, so not very far in the past. He's gone for a Robo, and he's gone for Adepts, but he's also gone for DTs at the same time, as Adept harassment is very common in Legacy of the Void, as Protoss players or Zerg players have a very tough time trying to stop it. And sometimes, I guess, puCK thinks, why not? I'll try to throw in some DTs. Maybe the Adepts will get some damage done. Maybe the DTs will. So that's sort of a build puCK's been doing lately, but maybe he won't do that. Maybe he'll just go for some straight up Adept harassment, likely following it up with a third base as well. 2 Adepts going to be moving out for puCK here, transforming some of his gateways here, so he's likely going to do another Warpin and then move out with some Adepts to try and get some harassment done. Moving out with these 2, though, just to secure his third base. It's sort of interesting in the current meta how players can go for lots of harassment, well, sort of small unit-based harassment early on with these Adepts, but then go for a macro nexus right behind it. Snute massing links, though, for defense. Sometimes we see Zerg players go for roaches, and Snute does have a roach horn, but I guess he's content for now just going with links. Well, he does have some roaches out, but he's going for more links to try and catch these Adepts. It seems the Adepts for puCK aren't going to get too much done right now, and puCK is going to pull back with these Adepts. He's got that Dark Shrine on the way now, but a bit different timed here. The DT Shrine seems like a bit of a fallback right now. Gonna try to hold off this aggression, then get some counter harassment done. The Snute Spore Crawler's on his way, so it seems that puCK might be in a bit of a dire situation here. He's got a photon overcharge on that pylon, but he might have activated it a bit too late as all the roaches got right on top of that Nexus, and it seems that puCK might lose his Nexus here. Another pylon finishes up. The Adepts are trying to kill the roaches. With the Resonating Glaives, they can deal a decent amount of damage to the roaches. Mothership Core is going to want to target down that weakened roach, but for now it seems that Snute's just content trying to cancel this third base, knowing he's got his own. Snute, though, not too many drones. He's sort of going for a heavy attack right now, possibly wanting to get even more damage done. If we look at the worker count, Snute is behind, but he's throwing in some drones now as he knows he got the third base, and that might be all the damage he'll be able to get. So, puCK, really the only downside for him is that he lost the Nexus. If he had held on to the Nexus, he'd have been in a very good position, but Snute sort of got the minimum of what he wanted. He canceled and delayed the Nexus. So that allowed him to sort of have an option to try and go for whatever else he wants after this. Trying to get some harassment done with these links here might be a bit of a questionable decision, as those Adepts can sort of just tuck away, and Resonating Glaives Adepts, even versus the Lings, which didn't quite have their +1 upgrade, are very effective. puCK once again trying to get up that third base. He doesn't really have much of a choice. He's getting out a Warp Prism here. He's got a DT, but he's going to run in, see a Spores there, and he's going to run out. So Snute's going to be very content seeing that, knowing that he made the right choice to get those Spore Crawlers. Players like Snute that like to go for sort of macro-oriented builds, or go for strong macro, don't like to be caught off guard by DTs. It's not really worth that little bit of extra income just to not go for a Spore Crawler or two. Ling run by for Snute, seemingly like he's going to try to get some more harassment done, but there's no probes there to harass. Oh, he's actually going for a drop with this Overlord. He's going to try to drop into the main base of puCK, and puCK's actually not going to see this. Snute moving in, and puCK's not got any vision of this left side of his base. No pylon there or anything, so he's going to get in. He might get a decent number of probe kills. The Mothership Core will have to come back and Photon Overcharge to save these, but any damage from Snute in this situation is good damage for him. Players are even on workers right now. puCK's behind on income, though, as his third base is late. puCK warping in 4 DTs, turning them into 2 Archons right now. He's going for some Adept harassment while he's gonna go for a drop with his Prism right now. We see all the Lings get in. They're working away in the Dark Shrine right now. Photon Overcharges are shooting them away, but they're gonna run into the Natural here. puCK has 1 Adept in the Natural, which is gonna try to clear them up, but they might get a few probes. No, Snute not paying attention, so they're not clicked on the probes. As Snute's busy right now, the Adepts are harassing. They are seemingly all getting cleaned up with these. The Warp Prism dropping out those Archons to try and pick off some drones and Lings. They do get a bit. They are still alive. But puCK not getting too much done right now. We see 2 more Immortals done for puCK. He's sort of building up that slow count so he can have a solid backbone in his army, but it seems that Snute's going for Mutas behind this. 4th base on the way for Snute. We see one of the Archons did go down there. puCK just leaving that 1 Archon there sitting. Snute could possibly try and Corrosive Violet. No, puCK playing so bold, paying attention to that Prism once again, trying to get some harassment done. Moves that Prism out of the way of the Vials just in time there. We see puCK warping in more Archons here. puCK's got himself quite a decent defensive position right now. He's got a good economy on 3 bases, as Snute is just getting up his 4th base right now. It's not a terrible situation. However, Snute going for these Mutalisks. He's got these Ravagers and Lings, which are sort of keeping puCK occupied, and puCK doesn't seem to have the thought of Mutas in his mind. He's got Archons, though. He's got a Prism, so he can sort of use that to deal with Muta harassment, but it's really going to be up to puCK how he deals with these Mutas, as puCK is playing not like he usually plays versus Zerg, as puCK would normally be fine. Well, not fine, but he'd normally be better off versus Mutalisk, because he goes for a Blink so often, and that's sort of puCK's staple. And it's been like that for quite a while. That's puCK's staple, going for the Blink, but this time he's not, and this is the time that Snute goes for Mutas. puCK trying to get some harassment done with this Prism, and it seems that this Prism with the Archons might get shut down by the Mutas of Snute right now, getting a few drone kills, but it's not going to be worth losing these Archons to the 5 Mutas that are coming out for Snute. Players quite even on supply right now, but puCK's going to be pressured very hard when these Mutas come out. see these two Archons trying to get some more harassment done. I believe they got one drone there. A lot of work for one drone, but puCK trying to get anything he can. He sees the one muta chasing this Prism, unloading the Archons very quickly. I think if he moves, puCK, look at that, moves out, saves the Archons, pulls back. Not too much anti-air in his army, but just a few Archons with a little bit of support is enough to deal with really any number of mutas due to the splash. We see puCK might be going for an attack here. Could be a bit questionable right now, though. We see puCK's looking to pressure the 4th base of Snute. He's moving in. He's going to start pressuring right now. He's going to have these sentries so he can throw down force fields, but there is Ravagers, which will be able to get them. Great force fields, though, from puCK. Absolutely amazing, but the Ravagers quickly nullify them. puCK trying to pull back. Great splits versus those Banelings. Fancy Immortal Micro saving them, and actually this fight is going quite well for puCK right now, but it seems that Snute might just have a little bit too much. There's 5 Immortals on the field for puCK, but one of them goes down. Mutas are now coming in once again, going to focus fire down that Prism, and that's sort of going to abandon the rest of puCK's ground units there. The Immortals trying to focus down as many Ravagers as they can, and that was a pretty good trade for puCK, but he's not in the best situation. He's on 3 bases, and he's been on 3 bases for quite a while. He sort of was forced to stay on 2 at the start, so they're starting to mine out. Snute's now up to 5 bases. puCK going for double Stargate tech here. A beacon, interestingly enough, might have accidentally beaconed there. 2 cannons for puCK are going to shoot away mutas, and it's a very small number of mutas for Snute right now, so they're not going to get tons of harassment done, and a cannon in every mineral line is going to go miles for the defense, and right now we just see puCK going for so many Archons to try and, I guess, deal with the composition of Snute. Archons, good versus Lings, good versus Banelings, good versus mutas. Not the best versus Ravagers, though, or Roaches, but Snute simply has so much. He's almost doubling the army supply of puCK, and honestly, it's a bit strange as how this happened. puCK lost his army, yeah, but it wasn't a terrible trade for him. Or maybe it was after looking at this, but it just seems that Snute's macroing very well, and Snute is going for a sort of bloated unit composition, as there is lots of Lings and Banelings and Roaches, which are sort of supply dense. Not to mention Snute's on 80 drones, so, but the army supply, Snute's got triple, almost quadruple the army supply of puCK. puCK going for these Phoenix to finally kill these mutas. He invested in 2 Stargates. He needs to micro that 1 Phoenix back. No, he's actually going to lose one of them there. A bit unfortunate. It seems like puCK's trying to get some harassment done in the meantime. Got 1 Archon, or there might have been 2, but I think he lost 1. Snute going for Corruptors to shut down the Warp Prism once again here. Meanwhile, puCK secured up a 4th base. It's interesting. Snute possibly could have killed puCK there, but he's sort of giving him a chance to come back into this game. That's quite a few changelings there. Snute is one of these Zergs who's just very content macroing and knows he's very solid at it, so he's not going to commit to something like an attack that could possibly fail and not kill off puCK. puCK continuously going for these Phoenix, interestingly enough. Maybe expecting more mutas, or maybe just wanting them to be able to lift up units, but it seems that Snute might be going for an attack right now. How many Banelings is that? 33 Banelings morphing in towards this 4th base. 3 cannons are going to have their work cut out for them. Right now we see Masslings, Mass Banelings are going to roll into this Nexus, and Snute might simply try to kill it. We see puCK moving out of position, and this is so many Banelings rolling and crashing, destroying all the probes. Gonna kill off the Nexus as well. Meanwhile, a push from the north. These Archons need to escape here. puCK's got a decent amount, but and look at this. This is actually so many Archons versus so many Lings. Usually you don't see Lings fight Archons, but this is apparently enough. High upgraded Lings of that, killing off almost all the Archons for puCK, and puCK is in a very dire situation right now. We see Snute Masslings on the way here. He's just sort of content rallying. He's got so much money. He's got so many workers, so he can make whatever he wants, and it'll sort of work. As puCK does it, puCK is sort of just continuously adding on these gateway units, which, while yes, very good, aren't exactly the best to sort of come back and take better trades versus Snute, which is what puCK needs. It seems that puCK's moving out for an attack right now. This may be a bit of a Hail Mary. He's going to see all this stuff, and he's going to want to turn around right now. The Archons are moving in. They're just going to sort of get swarmed by all these Lings. Zerg doing what Zerg is sort of meant to do, and GG gets called as puCK takes the game. I mean, Snute takes the game, pardon me. Very well played by Snute there. So anyway, that's really all there is to it. puCK tried to get some harassment done. He was sort of countered very quickly with that Dark Shrine. His Adepts didn't get too much done. Snute is one of the best players known for shutting down that Adept harassment. The European Zergs in general very good at it, and Snute definitely did it there. puCK then sort of fell behind when he tried to get some damage done, but it never happened. Really, I guess it was sort of decided against puCK when he took that poor fight. Regardless, if you guys have enjoyed the cast, feel free to leave a like. Feel free to subscribe, as I'm always putting up more StarCraft 2 content. Otherwise, I shall see you next time.